Hello guys, my name is Helena and I am an English teacher. This video is a part of my course on how to write IELTS essays. Let us start. Lesson 3. In this lesson, I'll talk about how to analyze a prompt, how to write a plan for your essay, and I'll also show you what your notes should look like. I mean your planning notes. So, how to analyze a prompt? There are 3 easy steps or tips to it. Step 1, read the prompt carefully. And I know that it's self-explanatory. However, in my experience, I've seen it happen so many times that students just look at the prompt quickly and then immediately begin writing their essay. As a result, their essay goes off topic or they do not respond to the task appropriately because they didn't quite understand the prompt. So make sure to actually stop, take your time, and read the prompt carefully. Moving on, step 2, underline the key words. And keywords are the most important words in any sentence. They will be nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, but not grammar words like articles or prepositions. Step 3, find the topic and the task. This is actually a great hack for you guys, but maybe it's not quite clear just yet. So let me give you an example, and with the help of this example, I'll guide you through these steps once again to make it all clear. Let's have a look at our prompt. Step 1, I'll read the prompt carefully. Obesity has become a serious health issue worldwide. Discuss ways to solve the problem. Next, and that's step 2. I need to focus on this prompt even more and find my keywords. In this case, the keywords are obesity, serious health issue worldwide, and in the second sentence, ways to solve the problem. Now that I've done this, I know that I need to focus my essay around these words. Step 3 is to find the topic and the task. Now, this is something that not many teachers probably talk about or even know about, but every IELTS prompt will have 2 parts. Usually, the first sentence or the first few sentences will give you the topic of your essay. In this case, the topic is obesity. The first sentence is the topic, and obesity is the key topic. The second sentence, or if the prompt is longer, then you'll have the last sentence that will give you the task of your prompt. And this task tells you how to write about the topic of your prompt. Once again, the task tells you how to write about the topic of the prompt. Altogether, for this prompt, this means that after looking at it and analyzing it, I clearly understand that I need to write an essay about solutions to the problem of obesity as a health issue. And with that clear understanding of the prompt in my head, I can move on to writing my plan. So, how to write a plan? Again, I'll start with a few tips first. Tip number 1, plan your body paragraphs only. You do not need to plan your introductions because normally introductions are written by paraphrasing the essay prompt. I'll talk about paraphrasing later in this course. You also do not need to plan a conclusion because in the conclusion, you'd normally only summarize the ideas from your body paragraphs. So You don't need to come up with ideas for your introduction and your conclusion. You only need to come up with ideas for your body paragraphs. And that's why you plan your body paragraphs only. Next, tip number 2. Start planning around the task, then the topic, then come up with your ideas. Let's have a look at our prompt and I'll explain what I mean by this. So, our topic is: obesity has become a serious health issue worldwide. Our task is discuss ways to solve the problem. Here is how I'd plan this essay. First, I'll start planning body paragraph 1. And I need to remember to plan starting from the task and then moving on to the topic. In this case, in my first body paragraph, according to the task, I need to write about my solution 1 to the problem of obesity. So this will be the beginning of my paragraph, and I wrote 1 way to solve the problem of. Pay attention that I'm focusing on my task here, solve the problem. And then I need to remember the topic, which is obesity in this case. And this is my topic. After this, I can come up with my key idea and my supporting ideas. So if I look back at what I already wrote, 1 way to solve the problem of obesity, how can I finish this sentence? I think it is important to address the main cause of obesity, which is unhealthy habits. This will be my key idea for this paragraph, and I'll write it down in a form of a note. I'm not writing full sentences here, guys. I'm just making notes. Next, I need to think about the supporting ideas. In this case, the logical question to ask is how? How is it possible to address people's unhealthy habits? And I'll write, well, I think that the government could use education via social media these days, because everyone's on social media, so it would be easy to reach people like that. But I'm not writing this down. I'll just keep those thoughts in my mind. I only need notes for my plan, and I made a quick note here, education via social media. And I think that one supporting idea is not enough for this paragraph. Maybe I won't develop it much, so I need to come up with another one. I think that it is also important to work with people directly via local health centers. In those centers, people could also get first-hand advice on how to improve their health, their eating habits. But again, I've just made a brief note about all of those thoughts. At this stage, I'm only planning, so I'm not writing everything down. And there you go, guys. This is how you plan a paragraph. My first body paragraph is planned out now. If you follow this way of planning, you'll definitely get a nicely organized paragraph and a nicely organized essay every time. However, this approach may take some time to get used to. So let's do it all again together to help you better remember it all. Let's plan the second body paragraph for this essay. As before, I'll start with the task and then I'll think about the topic. So my task is the same, discuss ways to solve the problem, and I wrote 1 more way to solve the problem of, the topic is the same, it's obesity. By the way, when I start writing my paragraph, actually writing. I'll paraphrase the words solve and obesity to avoid repetition, but for the purposes of planning, I'm not doing that just yet. So the core of this paragraph is another way to solve the problem of obesity. Now I need to think about my key idea and my supporting ideas. My key idea for this second paragraph is that it would be good to introduce healthy school lunches, because if kids eat healthily at school, they are not likely to put on weight. Again, I'll only make a brief note of this idea. I also think that it would be good to add another idea here, and my idea is that it's also important to ban snacks at schools, because obviously sugary snacks are unhealthy and may lead to obesity. Now I need to develop these ideas. I'll ask myself, why? Why are these ideas relevant or important? Why is it important to have healthy school lunches and to ban unhealthy snacks at schools? Well, obviously, if school children eat healthily, childhood obesity will be reduced. Also, I think that if kids learn to eat healthily at school, they will have better habits for the future, which will decrease obesity levels in the future generations. And there we go. My second paragraph is planned too. Now, I want to point out one important thing. For the purpose of teaching this lesson, I've used different highlights and font colors in order to help you understand the lesson better. When you actually go to the exam, you will only be allowed a pen or a pencil. No highlighters, no multicolored pens. So I recommend that when you practice writing your essays, you keep that in mind and learn to organize your notes with a single pen only. Here is what my notes usually look like if I only have a pen. So if there is a prompt, the prompt will be typed, of course. I'll use basic lines to underline the key words. Then I need to find the topic and the task, and I usually circle them. Like that. You can make notes that this is a topic, this is a task, or just circle, or just use any other line to make it clear for yourself that that's your topic and that's your task. And then I would only write down my notes without marking that it's a body paragraph or signing that some ideas are key ideas or other ideas are supporting. So this is what my notes would look like. And that's the end of lesson 3. I hope you liked this lesson and found it useful. If you'd like to see more lessons like this on this channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. See you in lesson 4.